What's up, y'all? Y'all know who it is. You know what it is. Your boy JP comes out with another how-to. Now, I thought I had made one already, but apparently I didn't. So I'm going to show you how to install your steering wheel controls using the Maestro SW. This is your first time coming to the channel. All we do here is car audio reviews and tutorials and all that type of stuff to make your install life a little bit easier. So consider subscribing. Don't forget to hit that notification bell and that like button and all that good stuff. But enough of all that, man. Let's just go and get right on into it. All right, y'all. So inside the box of this Maestro steering wheel controller, you're going to have these four parts. You're going to have the Maestro module. You're going to have the USB that helps you plug this into the computer, because you do have to flash it, and we're just going to flash firmware onto here to tell the box what we wanted to know, what we wanted to do for our car. You're going to have the wiring harness. That's what you hook up to the car, and you're going to have this. So this plugs inside this blue plug right here, and it comes with our 3.5mm jack. That's what's going to go in the back of the radio. Some cars have, not some cars, but some radios have the 3.5 female input on the back, so it's going to be like your Pioneers, your Clarions, your Alpines, your Sonys, all that type of stuff. If you have a, what is it called, the Kenwood or JVC, or maybe one of the off brands like a Boss or Dual radio, whatever the case is, they may take this blue with the yellow stripe. So you take this, you plug this into here, and depending on what radio you have, you're either going to be hooking up this wire right here, or you're going to be plugging into the back. So either way, let's plug this into the computer, and let me show you what you got to do to flash it and all that good stuff. So first thing you want to do is come to the iDataLink website. It's like maestro.idatalink.com, and then you want to come right up here to like a flasher module, and then once you click on that, it's gonna detect your module. We already have everything plugged in, so we want to come down here. It says flash by vehicle. So what we want to do is put our vehicle in. We are working on a Honda Ridgeline, so we come down here to Honda. It is a 2007, so we click on 2007, and then we go over here and we go to Ridgeline. This is pretty easy. Select the trim. We do not have the factory navigation. Then it's going to ask us what type of steering wheel controls do we have. It only has one right up here, one option, but if you have multiple options, just pick the ones you got. We go to confirm. Next is going to ask us what type of radio do we have. Now we have a Boss radio, so we're going to go to other, then we're going to go to select model and go to other, and then go to steering wheel controls. And basically what's that going to do is it's going to show you next the controls that you actually have in your car, and you see how we can hover over them. We can make these do exactly what we want to do, but this by default is what it's going to do. Volume up, volume down, all that type of stuff. If I wanted to change it, I can go to press once, click on it, and then I can change it to where this will be anything that I want. We'll keep it at volume up, but if I wanted to do a secondary command, like if I held it, press and hold, it'll like mute or something like that. I don't really care too tough for any of those because I like the way that this is. So we're just gonna go to next. Then it's going to go ahead and flash, and then it's going to say completed once it's actually done flashing. Alright, so flash completed. Now we just go to click to see install guide. It tells you exactly what you need to do and where you need to do it. So it tells us right here that for our car, we're going to need this wire and these two wires. So on that harness, we have our black that's going to go to ground, and we have our red that's going to go to accessory. We're going to tie these two wires in with our regular wiring harness that we're going to use for our radio. And from the iDataLink harness, we need this purple with the red stripe, and it's going to go to pin number 3, which is in this harness, and that's going to be green with the red stripe. We also need a black with a white stripe, and it's gonna go to brown. So the black with the white stripe is usually like a secondary ground. Sometimes you have a reference ground when you're hooking up your steering wheel controls, but this one seems to just have one wire that needs to be hooked up for the actual data, and then this one that needs to be grounded out. So these other wires that say not connected, we're not worried about these. So we're gonna cut our pink and yellow, pink and red, and our purple and yellow, and the only ones we're going to use to actually hook up are the purple with red, black with white, red, and the black. So let me show you how I usually get my harnesses wired up. So alright, so basically what I did was I took the wires that I do need, that red, the black with white, the black, and the purple with red, and I left them kind of long. I took the other wires, and I know I said what I did is I cut those in half, and I just kind of folded it to make a loop, and then I put some tester tape on it. The reason I do that is because for any reason, if I made a mistake, I can just pull one of these wires out the loop and try to make a different connection. Or if I take this out of this car, I don't cut it so short to where I can't reuse it. So I do that. Now this is the harness that I'm using for my Honda Ridgeline, and I'm going to take this red and black wire and I'm going to cut it off probably about right here and twist it in with my red and black from my harness. So let me do that real quick. All right, so as you can see, I got my black went with my black from my harness. The red, I just twisted it with that. Now I can take one of these butt connectors and just go over the top, and then I'm going to go ahead and do a crimp. Let me put that down. I need two hands, so hold on. All right, so it looks a whole lot better. No wire showing. So now I'm actually gonna hook up my, since we're using a Boss radio, I'm gonna go ahead and hook up my radio wires to this. As you can see, this one right here might have been mistaken, but this says SWC. SWC stands for steering wheel control, and there's your 3.5mm jack. So we will not be using the blue with the yellow stripe. We are going to plug this into this thing right here, and then that other part is going in there. So let me get this thing wired up and looking nice. All right, y'all, so I got my harness done, and basically what I did is I hooked up all the wires. I left my two wires hanging out because they have to go to my harness inside the car. All this stuff just goes to the radio. That's none of your concern, but you can still see that I got everything tester taped up nice and neat. My 3.5mm jack is going into there, and of course, if you're going into the back of the radio, you just plug it into the back of yours. I just so had to be using a Boss radio that needs this little piece right here, so that's why mine looks like that. Other than that, I think it looks pretty well put together. I'm gonna plug this in. This is gonna do its own little job once I hook these two wires up. Now let's get inside that car. All right, y'all, so we are in the car and I have my stuff hooked up. Now remember, on the piece of paper, not on the piece of paper, but on our install sheet, it said pin number 3 was green with the red stripe. So let's count 1, 2, 3. There's green with the red stripe. So we are going to kind of put him out to the side because we know that's another one that we need to do. And pin number 11 is brown. So I know that there's 10 pins across the top, and number 11 right here, which is at the bottom, is brown. So we are going to tap into these these two wires, I'm sorry. So just like the paper, just like the install thing said, our purple with the red stripe is going to go to the green with red. Our black with the white stripe is going to go to the brown. So I'm going to take my wire strippers here. I also have a video in my how-to playlist on how to strip wires. I go over a couple different ways, but we're going to use, let me get this in here real quick. The easiest way for me to use this with one hand. Wire like that, and then now I'm going to take my purple with the yellow stripe and I'm going to twist it around there. Alright, so what I did is I went on ahead and stripped my purple with the red stripe, and I tapped into that green with the red. I also have my brown stripped, and I have my black with the white stripe, and I'm just going to show you how I'm just simply taking that wire and wrapping it around so we can get a good wire-to-wire connection. Like I was saying earlier, I actually have a how-to video on how to strip wires and tap into wires. You can do a military splicing tape, solder tape, whatever the case is. Make sure you go hit that link so you guys can see that video. But now this is going to be good enough for me. I'm going to put some electrical tape around it, and I'm going to throw a zip tie on it. Alright, so I got it electrical taped. Now I'm just putting the zip tie right in the middle on our connection. Gonna take my cutters and cut that right at the bottom. There we go. So now let's hook this whole thing up and let's see if these steering wheel controls work. All right, y'all, so let's test these out. Let's press the up button. Has our volume up, volume down, taking the volume down. We're gonna press our mode, and our mode should change our sources. You see that? Keep it on radio. God, there we go. And channel up and down, let's test that out. Alright, man, so that's it, man. I hope you guys found some value in this video. If you did, please hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe, share, comment, all that good stuff. Until next time, this is your boy JP signing out.